All right. Good evening, everyone. Or yeah, I guess you could say it's evening. It's early for us. It's 4 o'clock, June 11th. Welcome to the special meeting of the Wareham School Committee. I'm going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
Oops,
republic
you froze.
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if you just bear with me, I'm going to go back to my office. Okay, welcome again. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I mentioned this is a special meeting of the Wareham. I mentioned this is a special meeting of the Wareham School Committee because this wasn't regularly scheduled. We're meeting today to revote the budget and a couple other things as well. Again, this is a remote meeting, a virtual meeting, so there'll be roll call votes for everything. And I'll do a roll call now to see who's here. So when I say your name, just say here. Miss Becky Hockey?
Here.
Miss Rossi? Miss Rossi? I'll come back to you, Miss Rossi. Miss Spear?
Here.
Okay, I heard both. Well, I think I heard both of you. Lori, Miss Spear, did you say here?
I did. Here.
Okay. Miss Morgan?
Here.
Myself here. Do we have? Let's see. Did I get all five of us? There's so many people. There's 4 pages.
I said here.
Okay. There's 4 pages of people here, so I can't see all the school committee members. Also note that Dr. Shaver Hood is here. Dr. Schwam is here. Do we have Ms.
Yes.
Roberge? Is Ms. Roberge with us? Okay. She might not be with us. So with that, we'll start with public participation, and I just ask that you bear with us because we're trying this for the first time on. Oh, I see Miss Emily's here. She says I'm here. We're trying this for the first time through the virtual meeting. Just supposed to be. This link was supposed to be just for people that were interested in speaking, and there's a separate link for those who just want to watch the meeting. So I guess somebody, I can't see everybody all at once, but somebody, I guess, put something in chat or something. So tell me that you want to speak. I think there's at least, so that's from P to everybody. I don't know who P is. Can you unmute yourself? Oh, Pam Schluter.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Ms. Schluter will go first. Go for it, sure.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Good, okay. I'm here as a former teacher, 40 years in Wareham, also as a grandparent and passing things on from the son and also from the child themselves. I've got some questions about the IB and the AP. We realize that not every college will accept the IB. I will say that our grandson, the first grandson, is at college now, spent 2 years working his bonds off at IB rather, and making absolutely nothing from it. So leaving that there, he was told he had to do it. And then we have another child who is now going to be a junior, dual enrollment. She's not going to do the IB. So my question basically is, do we have actual data as to how many of the students that have taken the IB have get credit at the colleges versus data from AP kids that have taken the test and done it that way? That's one question. And is this position at this time especially costing the town a lot of money that maybe we need to leave it for a while? Or is there a reason why we have IB to begin with? Maybe 2 AP courses in the same might save us a little. So I don't know if everybody even knows that IB is not accepted at every college, and quite a few that aren't. And I did forward a list of colleges. So that's my basic thing. What can you tell me about that? Anything?
I'll open it up to Dr. Shaver-Hood or Dr. Schwam. But you're muted. Both of you are muted.
I'll turn it over to Andrea.
Okay.
I was not forwarded your information of those colleges, but to my understanding that it's an acceptable program with the test. You take the test just the same whether you do IB as AP, and the credit is given as a result of that.
That's
So
not true.
if you could forward me, well, I have personal experience with that myself, but with my own daughter. But if you would like to forward me that, I can look into that more closely.
Please just one
forward
speaker
it
at
to
a
Mr.
time.
Morgan.
Please just wait till Dr. Schwam is done, and then you can go again. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even hear her hardly.
Oh no. All right.
I'm happy to take a deeper dive look at that.
Okay,
I'm
I appreciate it.
I'm not aware of the colleges that don't accept it. But IB is really more about the philosophies and practices that are throughout the whole district. It's not just about the juniors and seniors. It's a philosophy that students are at the center, and every school is participating in the ideas and the philosophies that the IB brings to the table as a way to create equality, more diversity, and it opens up the curriculum so that we're not just looking at the canon, right? At the approved canon of material. We actually investigate a much broader spectrum of research and different people who have contributed to our world. So the philosophy was what our strategic plan was written on with a committee of people, a large group of people in 2016. And so we've taken it on as that practice. The high school chose to become a diploma program. And I could talk more to Scott Palladino about that, but I specifically asked him about the idea of being made to take classes. And he was pretty upset that that was stated, because he had told me that the process is a student-driven process about what courses kids take and are involved in. And so I'll talk to him further about that and get more information on that. But my understanding is that it's by choice, not because kids have to, or that they're put there against their will, so to speak.
Well, it's more the AP fills, and maybe 2 AP classes might be better than an IB. I just wondered, do we have data on the price of IB? And
Yes.
Do we have data on exactly which students have actually gained from it? If they have, that's one thing. And if it's costing more than a whole teacher's salary, then maybe we need to look at it a little closer, because I understand there has to be even a coordinator to go with it that we pay. So that's all really. I just wanted some data on it. The other girl's not going to do that IB at all. She was told she had to, and she said no. So,
and I'll be happy to get that to you.
Okay.
It's pretty transparent, and I'm very open about that, and I don't have a problem sharing that. I will collect it in that form, however, if that's okay with you, and I'll get it back to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. You're the first. So we have Nicole Roberge would like to speak. Go ahead, Ms. Roberge.
Good afternoon. Just wanted to express a little concern, I guess, to the school committee. We've talked about, the money that Wareham is going to receive from the CARES Act, which to my knowledge is approximately $500,000. And I am aware that Dr. Shaver-Hood is concerned about the costs about the following year. I know that we have 2 years to spend that funding. I guess my concern is just for, when we have the number of cuts that we've had. And my understanding is that it's in order to kind of save what we do have now and as sort of a rainy day fund. But I think a lot of us feel like we're at that rainy day right now. And so it's just my concern that we are cutting people. And I guess I just don't know what exactly. I know from my understanding, she was planning to spend half or kind of save half for the following year and the schooling, the new school. But I guess what are we using the first half of the funding on is my concern.
Okay. To Dr. Shaver-Hood?
Yes, we're using 300, right now we have approximately 300,000 from the funding into the budget. It's going to be used for different line items, supplies, technology, etc. And the reason why we're pulling that and would be recommending the committee to adopt this budget is if we use it for staff, then we would have to pay the retirement, and that would be 9% of whatever the salary would be, and that would be spending money that we wouldn't normally need to spend. And so that's how we've decided on what we would spend out of the 500 and some thousand. We also do have a great I do have a great concern moving into the second year, moving into the new elementary school. We'll be paying for the DECA school as well as the new building for a short period of time, and not knowing what the future holds, it just seems prudent to me to save some of the money back.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Right, are you all set, Mr. Burge? Okay, Deanna, you wanted to go next? Ms. Semple? You're on mute though, there you go.
Hi, good afternoon. I just wanted to, point out and I guess question, we had, a large number of RIFs this year, more than I've seen in my past few years. And the number was 18, but it's much more than that when you factor in retirements and you factor in positions being transferred, people being transferred. It ends up being a lot more than what you really see. But I have numbers of, towns that are nearby. Bourne has had 0 layoffs. They will have 0 layoffs. Barnstable has had 4.7. Norton has 2. Martha's Vineyard has 2. Falmouth has had none. Plymouth has 4. And Boston has 0. Springfield has 0. So when we're looking at our town having that many numbers of folks that are in front of children being let go, it's very concerning to me in comparison with other towns, many that are similar in size as us. That is all.
Okay, thank you. Next up, it says Brian. I'm assuming that's Mr. Fitzgerald. If that's you, go for it.
Yes, it is. That's a safe assumption. Thank you. And I do want to thank the school committee for agreeing to bring back public comment after we asked them to. As you can see, there are a lot of people who are interested in what's happening. And I feel like I'm speaking also for some residents of Wareham I've been contacting who weren't sure how to get on this. I'm thinking about one of the more professionally interesting experiences I've had working in Wareham, and that's the semester I took on a student teacher. This person came in with a great understanding of unit plans and lesson plans, could make a really pretty presentation, knew all the lingo, the acronyms, the things that some educators like to use to exclude people who aren't educators. And then my student teacher got in front of our students. And my student teacher and we all realized there was going to be a steep learning curve about how to work with the people in the classroom. And I mention that today because this is a field that is based on people. The Wareham Public Schools reopened on March 23rd. we had a week where we tried desperately to figure out how we were going to do this online. And even though the buildings were closed, the schools reopened. You hear me call it a business. Anybody who calls education a business is well down the road of putting students last. It is a field that operates, and we need to think differently. And I just wanted to take a moment to express my hopes that when the school committee votes on this budget, that they vote secure in the knowledge that every line item has been written to put the people of Wareham, the people of the Wareham Public Schools, the students as well as the staff, to put them as the number one priority, realizing that programs and binders are things that are not the essence of what we're doing. You remember the performer you see at a concert, not the brand name of their microphone, not the brand name of their keyboard. And I remember the teachers and the classmates that meant a lot to me, and the students who meant a lot to me, far better than I remember whatever curriculum program we had. I understand it's the nature of the school committee. Many of you may have former or past students in the Wareham Public Schools. You may drop in from time to time, but I understand it's the nature of the information through packets and programs and presentations and other things that start with P. I'm just asking, before you cast that vote, if you know in this compressed cycle, when there's so much information we're used to having that we don't have this time, that you know it was written to put the people as the priority. Thank you.
So you're welcome. But before I continue, I just want to mention to the school committee, feel free to chime in. If you'd like to address anything that's being said by people that are speaking, feel free to, jump in. And I'll just pause for a moment to see if anyone would like to do that. All right. April, Ms. Rossi, go ahead.
So, Brian, when you say that you hope that it is written
April, it's April.
so that
Really bad,
we
April.
put the students and the people first, are you saying that without having seen it?
Yeah,
Am I skipping?
You're a lot better now, whatever you just did.
Can't hear you.
I didn't hear much of what you just said. And I think April's going to rejoin us with the phone.
Hold on. You can hear me now?
Right now I can, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you're
Yeah,
frozen.
I'm gonna try to recall.
Okay. While April's doing that, does anyone else have anything they want to say? And you might not be on the page. I might be able to. I see Miss Morgan. She has a question or comment. But anyone else, just type it in the chat because you might be off my screen. Now go ahead, Ms.
Okay, so I just want to clarify what Brian is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. But you're saying that there's the possibility that within the budget line items that we have programs or things that are causing expense at the expense of losing teachers?
What I'm saying is I think it's very easy, given the setup of school committee management, school board management throughout the state, that I think it's a lot easier to, let me reverse how I put it. I think it can be difficult to understand the reach and the meaning of much in a budget. And I do not at all say that I wouldn't be able to do what you think that we're in a, yeah, and I'm frozen there for a minute. I saw that. Apologize for that. This has been happening for a while now. Yeah. There are times when we can explore many different programs and we can still have this staff with our students who they desperately need, but there's an awareness that this is not such a time and there may be difficult choices the public schools need to make. Mm-hmm. And there will be people who will be arguing in different directions. I just wanted to add my voice
Thank you.
Is an educator. I'd rather have a good educator with a bad or no program,
Right,
than a good program with no educator.
right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Morgan, you all set? I'll come back to you in a bit, Ms. Rossi, but go ahead, Ms. Bakayaki.
Thanks. I just wanted to say to what Deanna said, losing one position is too many. I mean, that's whatever that number adds up to, you're right, there are different forms. Losing one is too many. And I spend a lot of time comparing Wareham to other towns, and similar to what you said. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, we'll still continue to work to bring as many of those back as we can, if we're able. And to Brian, to what you said, we also spend a lot of time looking at that budget, examining the line items. And so I don't take any of that lightly. I don't, you know, voting on this budget today, it isn't easy. And thank you for bringing that up. And it is something that, you know, that I take seriously, looking at those line items, as you say. It's not a business. I agree. You know, it's all about the kids. Thank you.
Okay, April, let's try you again.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Right now, yes.
Okay, I called in as well, so I can still see, and then hopefully that will fix my audio. But my question, again, I think it may have been because I had everything muted and I couldn't kind of hear what Brian readdressed or what Mary kind of said to everyone's point. But were you more saying that you're hoping that the budget kind of takes the children and the people as a higher priority than the stuff, is the gist I was getting? I'm just trying to see in the budget, and you're saying that that's what it does, or are you hopeful that that's where it lands?
I'm saying I'm hopeful that the budget that you choose to vote through, which may or may not be the document you're presented with, that that is how the school committee is making their decisions about whether to vote with the budget that's going to be proposed today.
Okay, I was just clearing. I figured that that's where you were at, but I just wanted to clear it up. So thank you.
I appreciate the chance for clarification. This is the most active and engaging school committee meeting I've ever been witness to.
And what I really like about it is, I mean, so we had, for the other members of the committee, other than Joyce and I, we had a similar meeting like this the other day, you know, to go over a whole bunch of questions, but you guys weren't there. So now you're getting a flavor of that, and you're able to interact, and I really like that too. So let me see if anyone else, does anyone else, I may have lost you in here. Anyone else like to speak during public comment? Okay, I'm seeing none. I'm going to wait a few more seconds, unless anyone else sees people raising their hands or any text that maybe I didn't see. But if that's the case, we're gonna move on to the next agenda item if no one objects. But yeah, I mean, I would prefer that we'd all be in you know, face to face in a real building with this many people and having this discussion. But I'll take this too, you know. And thank you, you know. Just to kind of repeat, you know, what I said at the other meeting. Maybe some other people weren't on it. Just the names I was seeing of the people in this list, you know. And when I look back, you know, my son's a senior. He'll be graduating. And he just, you know, Mr. Palladino just had the scholarship night, you know, and just you really look back and you see the culmination of the whole voyage that it took for him to get here and his whole career at Wareham Public Schools, and how proud I am and how truly appreciative I am of his such positive experiences he's had in this school. And I'm perfectly happy he stayed in Wareham, and I think my whole family is, and I just want to thank you all for that. And yeah, it's a tough vote tonight, but you're in our thoughts. And thank you. So, Steve, what were we gonna do? Were you just gonna put them in the other room, or just everybody stop the video, or what are we doing, Steve?
No, we're just gonna have everybody that isn't moving on, they can just kill their video, and then we'll just go back to the committee and the staff.
Okay.
So, see, you're already seeing them dropping off. It's a very
Okay. Okay, good.
And if there's somebody you just don't like, I'll kill the video.
All right, so I'm got a couple more with video going on here. Yeah, Deanna, I see you there. I'll type to you. Deanna, we'll need to speak at a later agenda item. Okay, I guess this is it. So we're going to move on to good news. Who has good news? Nobody? All right,
Well, I
I
do,
got.
but I'll save it for the building committee update.
Oh, good. Okay. So I'll point out that I mentioned it a moment ago. We had Mr. Palladino recognizing that there are a lot of decisions that need to be made on schools and financing and such. He had a sort of a mini scholarship night the other night on WCTV and announced many of the scholarships. There's still more, but he announced many of the scholarships, and we got to watch that on TV, and that was great. I had seen that so many years before. Now it's like a personal experience. It was really kind of surreal. That and also I went on I guess you'd call it a parade for the girls softball. Miss Pratt, one of the coaches, she organized it, and my wife had seen it on Facebook and said, "Hey, let's go." So we decked out the car and met them at the high school and went on tour all around Wareham to the seniors and for girls softball, and they really appreciated that, and the parents really appreciated that too. So that was really fun. But with that, anyone else? All right. So we'll save yours till the building committee, I guess, Ms. Becky.
Yes, thank you.
And also, we'd like to recognize tonight Ms. Spear. I hope she can hear us. Ms. Spear, are you there?
I am.
Oh, great. Ms. Spear is completing her term on the school committee. I don't know if I just speak for myself with this, but it's 3 years is a long time. It seems like it is, but thank you for hanging in there. And I know you've got a very rigorous work schedule in your real job, your real life. And thank you for your contributions on the committee. I know a lot of people don't notice it, but Ms. Spear actually really contributes a lot during, especially executive session, and I valued her input these years. But I also was going to ask Ms. Bakayaki to say something because I know she's been with you the longest. So Ms. Bakayaki, if you don't mind.
No, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to Laurie. I know that she juggles, like you said, a very busy work schedule to be with us. So thank you for doing that. I guess I would say the opposite. 3 years flies by. It seems like time flies by. I can't believe 3 years is over. But I know that Laurie just really cares about the students and the families in Wareham. And, she really did have a lot to contribute. Like you said, executive sessions, negotiations. So thank you, Laurie, for your service to the school committee.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thanks.
All right. Awesome. All right. So last item on good news, we're going to move on.
Wait, can I go? Do we have something to give to Laurie?
So we do. I didn't want to mention, Dr. Shaver-Hood, do you want to mention something?
Yes, we will have something when the stores open up and we're able to get the order in. We will be
Okay.
presenting her with the plaque, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. We're on to the minutes of the meeting, May 21st, 2020. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So I got Ms. Bakayaki. I got Ms. Bakayaki. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Rossi. Any discussion? Seeing none, shaking heads. All those in favor? Well, I have to do the roll call. So, Ms. Bakayaki,
Yes.
Ms. Morgan,
Yes.
Ms. Spear,
Yes.
Ms. Rossi,
Yes.
myself, yes. Let's see. Vote to amend MOA, pay spring coaches. So that's an item that Dr. Shaver Hood will be discussing, and we have Ms. Semple on the screen as well.
Yes, thank you. Our spring coaches really have done a lot of work, and unfortunately the season was canceled, but it didn't get canceled before. They planned practices, they did preseason workouts, they had to attend CPR course certification, they met with captains, they organized uniforms. The list just goes on and on and on. And like many things, they do it for the love of our students and for helping our students be better athletes and better people. I just would ask the committee to please award or allow me to pay the coaches that put the time in a stipend of $500. This isn't the coaching stipend, but it does acknowledge that we are very grateful for their time and their hard work. The reason why they were not paid is, number one, there wasn't a season, but also in the MOA that we had signed, that you had signed with WEA, it stated that coaches would not be paid. So I'm asking for a minor adjustment, and if you would so vote that, then we would be able to at least give them a little something for their time that they spent.
Ms. Semple, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, and thank you for recognizing all the work that they do. It is a lot. It's involved, and they're very passionate about it. You mentioned all the things that they do outside of, practices and being at games and coaching. But so yes, I second everything that Dr. Shaverhood said, and they're very committed to the success of our student athletes, and far beyond the first and last day of the season. So I would hope that we would show the same commitment to them and vote this in for them. Thank you.
Okay. I would just ask, like, how did we overlook this? Like, how did we not know about this when we did the MOU?
I think the initial MOU had it in there, and I hadn't really considered, honestly, I should have in my position, but I hadn't really considered the work that goes into it, all year long.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I'm trying to understand too. So coaches, they're not necessarily teachers, right? I mean, they just could be coaches, right?
They could.
Sometimes they're teachers, sometimes not. Yeah.
But yet they were lumped into that MOA without really any representation or any input, huh?
Well, the stipends come under the contract, and that's why it would govern the people that are not teachers.
Okay, all right. So I'm happy to support it. I mean, I like how we capped it at 500. It's clearly not the full stipend, but it recognizes something. So, for example, I just mentioned Miss Pratt, softball. She went and did that. I don't know if she expected to get paid. I'm sure she didn't expect to get paid. She probably didn't even know about this whole conversation, but she just wanted to do it, just something for the kids. And just weeks ago, my son's soccer coach, Mr. Wilga, the tennis coach, he wrote something up and put it up on the Boosters web page. Did a great job for all the seniors. I mean, that takes some time, and it meant a lot to those kids. It really did. It meant a lot to parents, me. So yeah, they put the work in. Let's pay them. It's something. Anyone else have any more? No, Ms. Bakayaki?
I would just like to say, I agree. I'm happy to vote for this. I believe that we should be paying them. They do, like Deanna said, it goes way beyond first day of the season to the last day of the season. So I'm happy to vote to give them the stipend.
Anyone
I
else?
agree. I agree as well. I think that, just knowing that, Mr. Gardner, the track coach was sending, optional workouts for the kids to do during quarantine to stay active, to promote, physical wellness and well-being, and just hearing that a lot of the other coaches from a lot of the other sports were kind of along the same lines. It really, I think, goes to show how passionate they are about the kids in town. And I'm glad that we'll be able to do at least something to honor and appreciate that.
Anyone else? Okay, so seeing none, so Dr. Shaverhood and Deanna, so this is just, how would you like this motion worded?
That you would vote to pay the spring coaches up to $500, depending upon the amount of time they spent in their preseason.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
That's Ms. Bakayaki. Second?
Second.
I think Ms. Rossi beat you to it. So that's Ms. Rossi. So I'll do a roll call. Ms. Rossi?
Yeah.
Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Ms. Spear?
Yes.
Ms. Bakayaki?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Thank you,
Thank-
Dana.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
All right. So moving on to the revote of the FY21 budget. Dr. Shaverhood?
Yes, you were sent out several drafts. The final draft is July 5th. That brings us to the number that the town has designated that they have in their town budget. This is certainly lower than we initially started at, but due to the loss of revenue, the town has made the adjustment. When you look at this budget, there are major reductions in personnel. We have very little left in lines other than personnel lines. One way that we, this is,
Dr. Shaverhood, I don't know, would you mind going through the PowerPoint, like sharing your screen and doing that, or no?
oh gosh, I'm sorry, I didn't get that ready.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
can, yeah.
You'd rather not, or?
Well, yeah, because I'm not really sure how long it's going to take me to get it all set up, Mr. Flaherty.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so the way we came up with this is first of all, we looked at where we could possibly reduce. Given the fact that we do not believe that there's going to be any free cash, as there is some years, we're hesitant to take some of the areas low, such as supplies and materials with the buildings. We've been, as you know, having HVAC concerns at the high school and at the middle school. We also have a number of repairs that if we do not have money in those line items, the repairs cannot be done. And for many of them, they're essential that's taken care of. We met with we invited all of the unions back to the table and asked them to take a 0 for 1 year just in salary. It would not detract from the step. All of the units declined, except we're still in negotiations with Unit A. The town has done the same thing, and it's my understanding that the directors and the majority of their folks have taken zeros. And as that did not happen, then we had to reduce staffing to get us to the number where we were at. This brings us to a net number of $27,482,637, a non-net number of $1,948,100, with a total budget of $29,430,739. We met with the WEA on, what was this? Tuesday, answered questions from them. I've answered a couple of questions from the members of the school committee. Some members, I'm not sure if you didn't have questions, but I haven't heard from anybody else.
Okay. Are you done?
I am.
Okay. So I'll just open it up to the committee. You have all the documents. You have the latest one. I thought it was important. Actually, I did have one quick question, Dr. Shaverhood. I'm looking. I asked you to put that column in, for the previous vote that we did back in December, right?
Yes.
And thank you for putting that in there. But it reads draft budget FY21, 12, 19, 2019. That's not draft, right? I mean, that we voted that, so that's real.
That is, you're correct.
Okay. Well, hold on, Miss Morgan. I did see Miss Rossi have her hand up. Miss Rossi, if you want to go.
Yeah, so I have a couple of quick questions. So and I know that obviously like the town is expecting certain revenues and, that contributes to their budget, but where is there certain things that we didn't have to spend money on during the COVID crisis? Like, did we save, or is there anything to do with what we saved on out-of-district busing, our out-of-district placement kids? Is that something that has been taken into consideration, or is that just where did that kind of overage, kind of come from? And then I have a second question if you wanted to answer that one.
Sure. Unfortunately, what you can't do is if you save money from one budget, you can't save it to spend the following year. Any money that is remaining at our bottom line when we close this year out is returned to the towns.
Okay. And my other question is, you said with the cuts that are being made to staff based on these new numbers, can you specify what positions those are?
Sure. There were teaching positions. There was, at the high school, there was one. There were several eliminated due to retirements. There was cuts at the middle school, teaching positions as well as para positions. And at the elementary, there were several teachers and a number of paras. There were also some transfers made between the buildings at the clerical as well as custodial. There was one teacher that was moved from the elementary to the middle school.
So with the cuts in teachers, what does that do to affect class sizes going forward?
Sure, class sizes in the lower elementary will stay 20 to 23. At Minot, there are approximately 22 to 25. I think there was one. At the middle school, you're going up a little bit. We have class sizes of anywhere from 24 to 27. And then at the high school, that's very hard to tell just because it's so student driven.
Okay, and then my other question is, you said we're still in negotiations with Unit A. Can you just remind me which Unit A is? And for people who are listening who might not have any idea how
Sure.
our units are set up.
Unit A are the teachers.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So Miss Semple, I see you with your hand up, but actually, like, we're beyond the MOA at this point, though. So actually, you got to
What
kind of.
about that?
Oh, but yeah, can you? But it's not appropriate for you to be on at this time because everyone has dropped off.
That's fine. I forwarded my question to somebody else. She's going to ask it. Thank you.
I'm not sure if that's appropriate either, but okay. Go. So hold on. Who had their hand up?
I did.
Okay, Ms. Morgan, go ahead.
So can I just ask, because I think it's important to ask the reasoning behind why the union didn't accept the zero.
I don't know.
So
I
can
don't have any
Deanna speak to it or not?
So here's the thing. So technically, under, I mean, we reinstituted the school committee public petition, God, public
It's
participation
COVID-19
policy.
brain.
Yeah, so we reinstituted it, right? So
Right.
that means, as you recall, because you were really involved in that, so the chair can recognize Ms. Semple. I just feel bad because we told everyone else to get off, and she's the only one here now. But I mean, it's important, and I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, let's, if you want, yeah, let's get some feedback from Ms. Semple.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't mean to break any rules, but I felt it important to note that I have the WEA represents all units, Unit A, Unit B, Unit C, and Unit D. Unit B, C, and D have not, they are not in contract negotiations. So in order for them to take a zero or a freeze or anything like that, their contracts would have to be reopened. We have not decided to do that at this time. So to say that they have not, agreed to take a zero is not really true. Or they have agreed to take a zero, I'm sorry. To say that they have agreed is not true.
Ms. Semple, but it's true though, right? That Unit B did express interest. Many members express interest in possibly taking a zero.
I spoke to them as well, and you can't have somebody write for all of Unit B. There's 7 members in that unit, and I spoke to some of them, and they were not on board, as it would appear from the letter. But again, they are not able to.
We're some on board. But we're some on board.
Yes.
And then what would it take to open up that for negotiations for all of them to just have a say and vote one way or the other?
They could. We would have to vote to see if they even would want to do that. But again,
You haven't done that.
No.
Would you mind asking them? Just asking them.
Well, I have asked. I mean, I haven't had an official vote, but we've had discussions.
So,
and I got to be honest. I know that the bus drivers have said no to that. I know the custodians, I believe, said no to that. So I'm not sure why. It kind of took me aback when I heard all of the town and all of the all of the other units had taken a zero, and you're waiting on Unit A. It kind of made it sound like we're stalemating everything, and that's not true. We I also have talked to a lot of people at the town hall, and they don't even know what this freeze or anything is. So I'm kind of confused right now as to who it is that Dr. Shaverhood is referring to in the town, and everyone else who is taking this zero or this freeze.
Yeah.
I'm not aware, because they've told me they haven't.
Dr. Shaverhood, please.
Yes. My information comes from the town administrator. I know that he's been in negotiations with various people. I also know that we had sent you a WEA, a letter that included all of your units. We also sent to the bus drivers and to the custodians. Part of we knew what the salary increase was going to be, and if we could have held at that salary that we currently have, then our layoffs would have been significantly less. And if you're still considering any of it, then we would welcome you to come to the table, because any money that we have, we certainly would love to recall our staff that we're able to recall. And so, please, if there's a willingness there, we certainly are very willing to come to the table and have that discussion with any of our groups.
Right. And I just wanted to point out, I guess, for clarification, that no town unions have taken a zero.
Okay. I'll get clarification from the town manager.
Okay. I mean, I think he said he was going to in a newspaper article. I did read that. But he's one person. of many.
Okay. Oh, well, to be clear, I mean, yeah, you were specific in saying that no unions have taken a zero. I mean, but Dr. Shaverhood, correct me if I'm wrong. I think pretty much all the central office and contract people that have a contract, they've all opted for a zero. The principals, administrators, that they've opted for a zero.
That's true.
Administrators not under the WEA.
Right. It's fine, but I'm just saying that I understand you've got some tough decisions to make and stuff and tough discussions, but I do very much appreciate that those that did unsolicited take a zero.
But you have to understand as well, those people are in the Unit A contract. Their salary is based on Unit A salaries. So it's almost, yeah.
No,
They
that's
get a
not,
Principals?
percentage. Unit
Principals?
B, I believe he's talking about Unit B.
no.
Oh, you don't? I thought you were back on.
No.
Okay.
But anyways, so that took some real leadership on their part. I really appreciate that. Does anyone else have any questions or comments regarding this? Okay. So we're still discussing. Oh, Ms. Bakayaki, go ahead.
Well, my comment is about the budget, not about the union negotiation. Do you want me to
Sure.
wait?
Yeah, just wait a sec, because I just want
Okay.
to make one
All right.
last point. Speaking for myself, my whole premise during this whole thing was to try to retain as many teachers as possible, try to keep as many teachers as possible, and that's tough to do with what we've got, and it's we can't get blood from a stone anymore at this point, and it is what it is. Go ahead, Ms. Becky, on the budget.
All I wanted to say was that Dr. Shaverhood touched a little bit on the free cash, and that has been something that we've been able to depend, the town has voted in the last few years, at least, I'm sure it's more than 3, to get, for that free cash to come to the school. And that did supplement our budget and allowed us to take some of those capital items out of our budget and use that free cash. So that will be felt, that loss of free cash. And something else I wanted to say is that something I ask myself and something that I am asked often is about the town budget, and is the amount that the school is getting, is it equitable, and do we feel like it should be more? And I just want to say, from what I've seen, no, like the calculations, the reduction in aid from the state that the town is receiving is significant. And it's more, I think the reduction in aid is more significant than the reduction in our budget.
So I may have misunderstood what you were saying, but you're saying no to what? People ask you.
I'm sorry, I'm saying that yes, that the amount of money that the town is budgeting to the school, this new amount that we're voting on tonight, it's lower and it caused us to have to make reductions. But based on the reduced amount of revenue and aid that the town is receiving, I still think that it's equitable. I can't stand up and say that the town should be giving the schools more money. As much as I would like to do that, I can't say that, because I think that amount is equitable.
So an interesting point on that. So yeah, I looked at Derek's budget too, and when you look at the departments, the bottom line on his departments is level funded. Same exact figure as last year as it is this year. Mm-hmm. Same with us. Same exact figure last year as it is this year. Right. But interestingly, and you'll remember this from the finance committee meeting. The Upper Cape figure is not the same as last year. The Upper Cape increased. Mm-hmm. So just to fill folks in, Upper Cape. So here we are looking at layoffs, freezes, furloughs, a whole litany of cuts, and the budget for Upper Cape is looking to increase 3.7%. All right. Now I'm going to say it now, and I'll say it when I'm done. I'm going to stress this over and over again. I do not want to see them cut. I I don't think two wrongs make a right. I wish we were getting 3.7%. But I brought this up during the finance committee meeting, and the way it works. So sure, overall 3.7%. That's what Upper Cape is looking to get, and but the cost to Wareham is way less than that. It actually works out to be 0.69% increase to Wareham, and I infer from that the other towns pick up the brunt of the rest of that cost. But what gets me is that the foregone conclusion that we just don't do anything about that. I think to turn down 0.69% when it means that the whole school is getting 3.7% would be, penny wise and pound foolish. If anyone ever wanted to, do that at town meeting, I would speak against it. But I really think, if the town's going to value Upper Cape, at 0.69%, why can't we get 0.69%? You know what I mean? And this is what I remember. I rewatched the meeting, and it was like, the point was made. If you do the percentages, it's minimal money. 0.69%, right? So we're looking at like a $29 million budget, and 0.69% is around $200,000. I mean, I just get like the inner Dr. Sylvia coming out of me saying why can't we do this? And why?
That's four teachers, yeah.
But again, obviously that means if you voted for something like that, you would go back to, you have an unbalanced budget. And that money's going to come from somewhere, right? But nobody says that. Nobody ever says that about Upper Cape. They just sort of accept it, and God bless them. I just wish they'd say it about us too. And I'd like to hear people's thoughts on that, on perhaps having town meeting vote on whether or not to value Wareham Public Schools as much as they're going to value Upper Cape.
If somebody will bring that up on Monday.
Well, no, we're going to make a vote tonight. I mean, this whatever.
No, but in general
They
about
bring
the
it up.
fact.
They always bring it up, and it's.
Well, they bring it up,
Yeah.
but it makes no difference. And just so you understand the way it works too. So even if they did vote it down, which I would really stress not to do. Let's say town meeting said no, we're going to vote you level funded. It would take two other towns, two other member districts of Upper Cape to vote the same way for them to kick it back to Upper Cape's school committee to revote their budget. So that never happens. So then whether if any town voted it down, they would be forced to take it out anyway. But I just think it's so interesting. I mean, why is it such a foregone conclusion that Wareham students, they're going to get 3.7% at another, going to another, Wareham school, but yet we're zero. So I struggled with that, and I was hoping for more feedback from you guys, but I'm not hearing it.
Well, I mean, I've been at those meetings with you, and that I've questioned it, and I've heard the answers that they give.
Yeah, and you took your grief, and you didn't really deserve it, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, I just asked the same question like you just said, and like you said, we're not looking for them to get less money. We're just questioning why can't we have that same amount of money? But it's the process, and it's been happening for years, and like you said, unless 3 towns are going to vote no, then.
Yeah, but but you know what? Why can't we say that? Why can't we say, you know what, we want to increase our budget 0.69%, and let town meeting decide, no, you can't do that. We don't have the money. You know what I mean? At least give them the say.
But then we open it up to having our budget. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, if we were to do that, then you would open our budget number up for discussion at town meeting, and it could very well be lower than the amount.
That could happen either way. I mean, it doesn't matter what I say. I mean, anybody could just raise their hand and say they have a question about the school budget and do what they want to do.
Well, that's true. But that's if someone else brought it up. If we went in with a different number, it would automatically be brought up for discussion, and then we'd have no control over what would happen to it.
True.
Yeah. But I agree with you. And I stress also, I'm not looking for them to get less money. They provide a great service to the students from Wareham who go there. But we're providing a great service to our students who are in our schools too. So I agree with you.
Yeah. And so I'd like to hear a little more about the impact for next year as far as, the learning impact on our students. So I think I heard we're gonna have about 24 to 27 kids at the middle school. Did I hear that correctly, Dr. Shaverhood?
Yes.
So currently, right now, what's the average class size for the fourth grade this year?
Oh, I think it's probably 22.
Okay, I thought there was a bigger disparity there. I think I had a teacher tell me that the kids going from minor to the middle school are going to have some serious culture shock because the sizes are going to be that much more huger. But that didn't sound too different. I mean, it's not good, but it's not way off. There's so many good things going on right now. They have been going on, and we've been making such great progress. I feel how many total positions are we losing?
18.
I'm sorry, what?
I thought Deanna had said 18 at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, and then some move and some are not rehired, but I mean, I guess a net of 18.
Yes.
And a big chunk of that is early elementary.
There are a
Right?
number of paraprofessionals in the elementary. Yes, that's true.
And they're critical for the boost program, right?
Yes. Yes.
Can I ask a question just to clarify, since this is kind of the first, obviously I kind of came on after all of this was kind of going on last year. But so hypothetically, I know that we are up to vote for this budget to then present this budget to town meeting. So hypothetically, like we're given these numbers from the town and we have to vote whether we accept these from the town, correct?
So I guess I'll answer that. So this year, yes. All right. So a lot of times in prior years, the school committee would stick to their guns with a certain number, and the town would stick to their guns with their number. But our number, according to town charter, our number is the number that's supposed to go into town meeting. All right, and not necessarily the town administrator's number. But then at that point, if it's not balanced, the finance committee has like the First Amendment, and they can just amend to make it level and do it right there. But at least it's a vote.
So we vote based on, so like say we vote not to accept, like obviously this is all hypothetical, but say we choose not to accept the cuts that the town administrator is presenting us in this current budget, and we
Yes.
choose to stick to what we had initially resolved as this is going to be our budget, these are going to be our positions, this is going to be where we stand, and we vote to not go forward with the town administrator's changes, that gets put to town meeting and then that gets decided by the finance committee?
Well, no. So ultimately it gets decided by town meeting. It's just that the finance committee gets the first shot at it, the first shot at amending the budget. But let's say, so just to use your example, so I think how far apart are we? Like 1 point something million, Dr. Shaverhood originally.
Yes.
So think
Yes.
about that. So think about us showing up at town meetings, and they're level funding everything, and we show up at 1.2 million. So I mean, even myself as a taxpayer, I'd be like, okay, Ms. Rossi, how many police do you want to lose? How many council on aging? Municipal maintenance. So that's the struggle every year.
So it's robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Kind of. It's just that you can't get blood out. You can't get any more blood out of that stone. But yet somehow Upper Cape does. So then there's that.
I'm just, like I said, this was like my first real kind of foray into this whole process because I came on after, this was kind of all voted in last year. So I'm just trying to get an understanding, of how this is going to go forward and how to vote, because I mean, as much as I obviously don't want to see anything in this town defunded or have to lose, because I think every, you know, everything I think we have is important, and I hate to see cuts to anything. But I mean, the school, the kids, that's like the future, that's everything. There is no town without a good school district. There is no town without anything. Property values go down. Everything goes down based on how well our schools perform and how well people perceive our schools as being. So I just, it really is disheartening that 18 positions or 18 jobs, and that's a huge chunk to a small district for our kids and our future. And it's really a not fair position that we are all stuck in. And I don't envy any of us
Yeah.
for having to, you know, for the administration for having to go through these numbers and find places to cut. I don't envy the teachers for having to then make concessions after they've been cut to kind of pick up the slack where we're losing everything. And it's really, really too bad that there's no way to find a way. This isn't my favorite part of the job, that's for sure.
Well, and I mean, I've been following the FinCom meetings and stuff, and so I mean, they've got a stabilization fund, and they've had to use quite a bit of it this year, but they still have 5% of the budget in there, I believe, and in doing so, that was kind of the point, to build it up that big so that we qualify for cheaper loans and such, and that's been a great thing, you know. But you know, we had a stabilization fund too, and Dr. Shaver-Hood, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we're done, it'll be empty, right? I mean, it was $200,000. We used $100,000. We're using another $100,000 here, and then that'll be empty.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. If,
And-
you know, if I could, if
Yes.
you'd like, I had sent you I sent everyone a document about what the impacts were. Would you like me to review some of that for everyone?
I would love for you to review that.
All right. So let me just start at DECUS. Right now, there were 2 custodial positions. They were 0.5, but we transferred a custodian from the high school, so the high school will be 1 short. DECUS is losing 4 boost paraprofessionals. Those are 0.5, 1 preschool paraprofessional, and 2 teachers. What else has been lost? There were 1 paraprofessional that retired, 1 is taking a leave of absence, and 1 special education teacher is being transferred to the middle school. And that was due because of drop in the DECUS numbers, so that could happen. So we asked what the projected impact would be. It would be reduced support for academic intervention, the boost paraprofessionals, reduced support for behavior and social emotional, because we did transfer a behaviorist back into the classroom. You know, they certainly have made significant strides in school climate, and student behaviors have drastically improved. We are concerned about, you know, some of this sliding back. Right now at kindergarten, we anticipate that there'll be 17 to 20 per class. In grade 1, there will be 9 sections at 22 students. And at grade 2, there will be 172 students, or 22 students with 8 sections. At Minot has lost 2 grade 4 teachers. There are 2 less classes to spread out. They've also lost a behaviorist support position. They have lost a paraprofessional through a retirement. And right now they anticipate in grade 3, we'll have 8 sections with class sizes 23 to 25. In grade 4, 6 sections, class sizes 23 to 25. At the middle school, in grade, a total number of students, 533. The middle school has lost 2 teachers through retirement, a teacher reduced, 2 paraprofessionals have been reduced, and there's been a teacher transferred back into the physical education from another area. What this will mean for the middle school would be they've lost accelerated math in grades 6 and 7, core academic interventions for ELA and math, core special ed math interventions, and STEAM classes. STEAM will now only be offered in grade 6. There's also a loss of support for at-risk students with the RISE program. And that was a program where students that were having some behavior and academic difficulties could go and get help. Teachers now will be teaching 2 grade levels or 2 subjects, and interventions will be extremely difficult because of lack of staff. At the high school, there will be study halls, and there's been a business position eliminated. In the very near future, the committee will also have to decide if graduation requirements will be reduced, because currently a business course is a requirement. Classes may approach 27 in core math and core ELA. So none of this was done lightly. There certainly is significant implications across all our schools. There's been tremendous strides made, and we do have serious concerns about maintaining the forward progress.
Anyone have anything to say about that?
It's just sad. It breaks my heart that all of these amazing programs that we've worked so hard and tried to have so many, assistance for, especially for the at-risk students. And it's really disheartening that, money is the reason that these kids aren't going to have a chance to, kind of stay on the right path or get the help that they need or get caught up to their peers. And it's really, really unfortunate.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dr.
I have, yeah, thank you. So, I just think that what has been accomplished certainly speaks to the strength of our staff, because I went back and I looked at the last 10 years of our budget years. And so when I looked at 09-10, the budget was $23,289,000. So you look at today's number of $29,430. Over the past 10 years, there's only been a change in the school budget by $6,140,363. So 10 years in education, that's all that we've increased. And it certainly is not against, the town, because I will tell you, I think the town has been supportive and giving us the money that they can give us. We just don't have the revenue.
And Dr. Shaver-Hood, did I characterize that earlier on how town meeting vote would work?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also will say the finance committee has certainly worked with us. The town administrator has worked with us. And there's just pain all around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of deferred pain, I think, on the town. Like we're ahead of the game, I think, due to contracts and certain. We're I think legally bound by a certain date to reduce in force if we need to, and I think he has a little more wiggle room or something. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Ms. Bakayaki, you had your hand up?
I did. I just wanted to address April. I know, April, this process, you were asking about this process and about the number that we're going to vote on. I just want to make sure that we all know that the number that was developed by the superintendent and for this year was quite a bit more than what this number is.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm more disheartened by how much we've had to cut to concede to the town's, constraints based on our original proposed budget and,
Right.
what we've had to lose as a result of that. That's more what's upsetting to me. I think, when we'd gone over everything prior about our budget before, we didn't have these kinds of cuts. And this
Right.
is just really, and I feel bad, like I said, for the town too, that they have to make these concessions, but it just, regardless of what needs to be, what needs to be done, it still doesn't make it any easier as a pill to swallow, knowing how much it's going to impact the kids
Mhm.
and our staff. Like, we have such dedicated and amazing administration and staff in this town. And it's one of the things I brag about the most is, how quickly we got onto, the remote learning during all of this. And like, that we were kind of so far ahead, and now it just feels like, almost like having the rug pulled out from under you, not through any fault of anything that anyone in this, department or anyone in our district is doing intentionally, but just due to circumstances financially, it's really disheartening.
Mhm.
And I see you, Ms. Morgan, but I think Dr. Shaverhood might have something in response to April. So go ahead, Dr. Shaverhood.
Thank you. I would say though, our budget line, bottom line really is $30,630,739. And we are placing 800,000 from circuit breaker, 100,000 from our special ed fund, and 300,000 from the COVA to reduce our budget to get to the number.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's a great
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I mean, you say to reduce the budget, you reduce it just to re-add it back in with some funds that we had with circuit breaker and our stabilization and the COVID.
Can I,
Well, Ms. Morgan, go ahead.
go ahead, sorry.
Okay, if I can remember everything now. So I'd like a clarifying question, first of all, on way back towards the beginning of the budget discussion. Someone had asked about the money that we had saved on, say, transportation, and that it has to go back to the town. Is that correct, even though we're in this situation?
Yes, I mean, if there's any money left in the LEA budget at the end of the fiscal year, it goes to the town. We do not have a savings account.
Yeah, I would think though in this situation, they would make an exception, but evidently not.
I don't think so.
So Dr. Shaverhood, what happens when it goes to the town? Like they can't hold on to it either, can they?
I think it goes into free cash.
So can that just loop around back to us and and split it between us and the town?
Well, that's certainly a conversation that we're having right now. I know the town's pulling 600,000 out of their savings, free cash to use in this budget. I'm not sure. Perhaps in the fall, that's a question that we will be able to have some free cash come to us.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms.
Okay.
Morgan.
All right, and then another question is there any plan to go in person for the summer? Because that's another thing that may be saving us some money.
Yeah.
Looks like Dr. Swan has something to say.
If you want to, Dr. Shaverhood, I don't want to
No,
interrupt.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So we actually have a pretty extensive plan in place for summer that is a hybrid model. And then we have a secondary model for our kids who are struggling with Boost. We do Boost every summer, or we have for the last 3 years for kids who aren't quite ready or quite there. And we have a couple of teachers that had applied for the positions who've been involved also for the last few years. And before COVID, they applied because we had put the posting out. So we just had a meeting, about a 2-hour meeting. It was great, actually, with the teachers and with Bethany and Jane and Mo and myself. And we were, and Carrie Thurston, who works through the summer for free, basically. She just sets everybody up with all of the different elements that they need for their programming every year. And so we're going to do a in-person and not in person at the same time. So we're going to sort of offer it to and get the pulse on the families, because some families are hesitant to send their kids. So we want to find out who those people are. And what we're going to do is we're going to stream, or not stream, live stream, but we're going to put everything that we do in the classroom for shorter periods of time, because you can't keep a student in one place for for 5 hours straight. So we're looking at all of those elements, and we're going to do shorter stints of time so that we can connect with kids and then train them on all of the safety measures at the same time and what they need to do. And the teachers have some really creative ideas about what to do to help kids understand how to keep themselves safe. And so we have a really good plan. And we have to offer the summer programs because we're, first of all, part of Title I is for summer. And then secondarily to that, the 21st Century Grant is really, really about the summer program. And they've had a lot of meetings. I know Jane and Mo have been involved with all of that, all of the intricacies that have to do with making sure that we have programming available. And it seems pretty extensive and creative and interesting. So we're sort of offering a lot of both, not as much in person because of the safety issue, but we'll also test it out and be able to see what we'll be able to do in September once we get the commissioner's plan, right? So that we'll have a way where we can hopefully manage it with smaller groups of kids and understand what we'll have to be preparing for September. So we're really looking at amping it up as much as possible. We need to reach those kids like desperately.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So how about an extended year as well?
Yes, they're working extensively on that with also the help of the rules and the safety protocols that are involved. We're also looking at what to do with, like if for example, we're looking at if there's we have kids that are severe autism or other things like that, right? If there's 2 adults and 1 or 2 kids, then we may be able to have them come in more often, right? So it might not be for every kid, but we may be able to do something to up what we can do for individual kids that really, really need help. So yeah, I mean, we're looking all over the place. And then, of course, all of our counselors are available at night. We have this other mental health grant, and that's helping with keeping in touch with families and trying to be available. So we're outreaching a ton and just really have some deep concerns for that. So I don't know if it answered your question about money, because I'm really about kids. I just want to talk about what we're doing for kids all the time, but we won't be spending it. We'll be spending it through grants, basically, because we have to, right? Because the grants have rules and we have to follow those. So that's where we're coming from.
Okay, and lastly, can you just say again how many cuts at the high school?
I would say, I dropped that document. Let me see. Oh, found it. All right, at the high school, there was 2, there was 1 teacher, there was 2 retirees not replaced. It was teachers. Yes, teachers, correct. Paraprofessional and a clerical, but there will be a transfer in, and 1 custodian.
Okay. And I don't know if you have this information offhand, you can get it to me later if not. But the average class size in the IB program.
Yeah, I don't have that right now and wouldn't have it till after school starts because kids haven't been scheduled yet.
Right, okay. And I just want to, someone had mentioned that, I think it was Pam, who said you have to have a coordinator for that program. So do we have one? I don't think
half-time.
Half-time, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Ms. Spear, are you still with us?
I am. I'm sorry. I'm a little in and out.
That's
because of
fine.
where I
But
am.
did you have anything you wanted to add or question?
No, they've all been answered previous.
So I think we're beyond the total time of the whole agenda, which is okay. But I need a motion to accept, motion to however you like. But I need a motion to split this up 3 ways, however anyone would like to make that motion between net, non-net, and total.
Do you need 3 different motions? One
I
at a
guess yeah, we do. We that's how we do it every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I make a motion that we approve the net school budget amount for $27,482,637.
Is that the correct figure, Dr. Shaverhood?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Rossi. All right, any further discussion on the net school spending of $27,873,087? Seeing none. Okay, roll call. Ms. Morgan.
I'm going to say no, and I know that in the past when I did this, I was told, oh, you're just voting on a number, and we'll get back to it.
No.
And that never happened.
Hold on, time out. So we're just voting. If you have more questions, let me know, but we're just voting. And so just to answer your question, no, we're not just voting on a number. This is what's going to town meeting, and the town meeting takes it from there.
My understanding was the last time I did this,
No.
that we would revisit the line items.
Oh, no. Those line items that were sent to you, Dr. Shaverhood, correct me if I'm wrong, those line items that you sent us in this packet match up perfectly to this number.
This matches with, I don't think that's what she's asking.
No, what I'm saying is that we can relook at positions that were cut and see if there are other ones.
Yeah, so this is a number, that's going to town meeting. This is to fund our budget.
Right.
And then Dr. Shaverhood has discretion within those, a certain amount of discretion within those numbers to reshift things around. And then when she hits certain thresholds, she has to come ask for approval and such. But yeah, further down the road, things can adjust.
Right. But I'm still going to say no, because that never happened the last time.
What?
Well, you weren't on the committee at that time.
Oh, but I'm on the committee this time, and we've done some transfers this year, haven't we, Dr. Shaverhood?
We have, but I think what she's asking, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you would like to look at what the line items fund and then look at possibly readjusting what it funds to something else.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna restart the vote, and it's just a yes, no, abstain. Okay.
Okay.
So roll call. Ms. Morgan.
No.
Ms. Rossi.
I'm going to abstain because I'm really confused now based on what just happened.
Sorry.
Guys, come on. This is important. All right.
No,
So,
I understand that it's important, but I'm like, I thought this was the way that Ms. Morgan just asked the question and that Dr. Shaverhood clarified that that it can be more fluid. The only reason I'm saying is because I don't want to vote yes or no if I'm not 100% clear on what exactly the net school number means.
the net school number means everything in this line item budget, everything in there, and the numbers, all those numbers add up to, for the net part, to the $27,873,087.
Okay, because the one that I got today, that's not the number that I'm seeing. So that's the other reason I'm confused. The number I'm seeing that I got in the updated line item thing today says $30,630,
No.
$637.37.
Right.
So am I not looking at the right document then?
That was just explained, but Dr. Shaverhood will do it again.
Yes,
That's how much we're gonna actually spend, but this is the lower number is the number we're asking the town to fund. But go ahead, Dr. Shaver.
Because that's
Yes.
the circuit breaker and all that stuff applied? Is that?
Yeah.
yes. So
Okay,
once-
like I said, I was just confused because I was, looking at that and I didn't, okay. I think I understand what you're talking about now. So that's got the chapter, everything, the circuit breaker, the whatever other thing, and that gets deducted from this document that I was sent today with the 30,630,737, and then that matches up to
What we need,
after
Yeah.
those deductions, the 27,482,637.
29. And then you have to look at, you pull transportation out, and transportation is non-net. So you look at everything but the transportation, and you come up with a net number of $27,482,637. And that's everything in the budget except transportation cost.
Okay, and then this, what Mary was getting at is that this could be revisited, like say a grant comes through or more funding becomes magically available from the state that would then adjust. Like I said, I pardon my ignorance, but this being my first time being able to vote on this, I just want to make sure that I understand 1,000% what I'm voting for.
Right. So if there would be money coming to us that would come not from a grant, but from LEA that we would put in, then yes, we would have to make adjustments. And if that would happen, all along we have said our first priority is to bring back staff. And so that's where we would look at increasing whatever budget line. If we were lucky enough to have some grants that would allow us to bring back, staff to support our boost program or staff to support other pieces, absolutely. That's what we're going to do, and we're committed to do that. What I think Mrs. Morgan wanted to know would be, after this is voted, could the line items be examined about what they fund, but it would not change the bottom line, correct? Mrs. Morgan? Yes.
Okay, so the bottom line could stay the same, but we could get creative should we need to with the line items, is more what Mary's saying. If, like, to go back and kind of like pick through everything again, but keep the total where the total's at.
The total can't change.
Right. I'm just,
Yeah.
like I said,
Yeah.
I may sound like a moron, but I'm just trying to break it down as simple as possible, just because this is such a big deal and this is my first time actively voting this way. So I just want to be as clear for my own, understanding as possible.
Right.
And Ms. Morgan, you're voting no because it happened before in some other school committee year where this was asked and answered and didn't happen. But are you just going to vote no every year moving forward now?
No, not necessarily, but I mean, especially if I see things that I believe should be cut versus things that shouldn't be cut.
Okay. So I'm going to try this again. Right. So we have a net figure of $27,873,000 and $87. Ms. Morgan.
No.
Ms. Rossi.
Yes.
Ms. Spear.
Yes.
Ms. Bakayaki.
Yes.
Myself, sorry, but no. But no, I for the reasons I stated before, I want to value our students and teachers as much as Upper Cape does, and this doesn't do it. And to borrow Dr. Sylvia's line, that this is effectively beginning to dismantle Wareham Public Schools, and I totally thank Dr. Shaver Hood, Dr. Schwam. You've done a fantastic job, but it's in our hands now. We own this now, and I'm not okay with dismantling our schools, especially when they've come so far. But I thank everybody and I respect everybody's vote. But that passes. 3, 2, no abstentions. So that's net. Let's do non-net. That's busing. Do I have a motion to accept that? And
I make a motion that we vote the non-net school budget for $1,948,100.
Is there a second?
Second it.
That was Ms. Morgan. Dr. Shaverhood, that was the correct figure, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have a bunch of figures myself here. So with that, any further discussion on non-net, on busing? Seeing none. Okay, all those, well, I have to do the roll call. So Ms. Rossi,
I'm gonna say yes.
Ms. Morgan,
Yes.
Ms. Spear,
Yes.
Ms. Bakayaki,
Yes.
myself, yes. And in the total budget, can I have a motion on the total?
I make a motion that we vote the total fiscal year 21 budget in the amount of $29,430,737.
Is there a second?
Second.
So that was Ms. Bakayaki, and then seconded by Ms. Rossi, and just confirming Ms. Dr. Shaverhood, that's the correct figure, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go Ms. Rossi.
I'm gonna vote no.
Where is it? Ms. Morgan?
No, because I voted against the net, so I can't vote for the total.
Well, you could. Miss, I'm sorry, Ms. Bakayaki
Yes.
and Ms. Spear
Yes.
and myself, no. So that's 2. What is that? 2 fails. 2 to 3,
Doesn't
right?
pass.
Doesn't
It
pass.
fails.
Yeah, which is bad.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do something tonight. I'd like to revote. I'd love to have a motion. So that what's the total, Dr. Shaver? What's the total from the CARES Act that we have?
500 and I believe 517,000. Is that right?
507
7.
and some change. I want to say 946, but I'm not perfectly.
And this budget reflects $300,000 of that, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I would like if someone could make a motion for us to use all of that this year.
So moved.
Second it.
All right. So that's a motion by Ms. Rossi, seconded by Ms. Morgan. Discussion. I know Dr. Shaverwood, you're probably not happy with that, but I'd still like to hear from you.
My concern, I'll just go back to why the decision was for 300,000 was when we get ready to open the new building, not knowing what kind of funding we'll have from the town. At that point, the building's much larger. The increased cost for utilities certainly will be there. For heating will be there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you used the word prudent, and I couldn't agree more. That prudent use of that money to save some, but this is desperation at this point, and if the town isn't going to value, if we don't think the town will vote $203,000 for a 6.9%, a 0.69% increase, then we'll take it with what we've got. That's my feeling on it. And
I would hope that the new school would have more, hopefully, I know it's going to be a larger building, but I'm sure that they've put into all of the plans more efficient heating and electrical and things like that. So hopefully the cost won't be that great that, you know, if there's anything solar involved or anything like that to help offset some of those utilities, I would hope that that would, you know, being such a new building and would be much more energy efficient all the way around, the utilities hopefully won't run like the older building with maintenance and things like that.
I think if you look at our utility bills, our newest building, the middle school, is our highest cost. And that's traditionally what happens because everything is on mechanicals and everything is so connected and uses energy, even though it is efficient. You're exactly right. It is. It just costs more. You know, and I can remember when we first started this venture being having conversations with the finance committee and the selectmen about how embarrassing it would be to have a new building built and not be able to staff it or to maintain it. And they're exactly right. So for that, I would say that, yes, we've tried to be prudent. We've tried to keep money in the various lines because when the budget is built for next year into the utility lines and fixed cost lines, there's going to have to be significant more money put there, which I would hate to think it's going to cost staff to get that money.
Right.
But it certainly is your budget.
And I'm sorry, finish your thought.
No, it's your budget. And listen, I'm not happy about having to cut all of the staff that we had to cut. I think supporting our kids is absolutely our mission.
Dr. Shaverhood, I totally respect where you went with this budget, and I don't. I lost sleep thinking about this, and I hold no grudge at all. I totally prudent, totally fine. But push is coming to shove here, and you've done all you can at this point, and now it's up to us as a committee to take this forward. But Dr. Schwalm, go ahead.
Just, I have a little bit of concern as well about the fact that July 1 is the new fiscal year for all of us, and we're still in crisis. And I'm concerned about the different phases and the different amounts of revenue that will come in, right? That we have to then predict our budget on those revenues for the following year. So I think that's a whole other reason why it might be wise to put something aside, because I fear that we're still not going to be back to 100% where we can rely on the same numbers, and so this problem is just going to come up again. I'm just concerned about it.
Point taken. Ms. Bakayaki?
I just had a couple of questions. Are we 100% sure that we will receive this money? We are, okay.
Good question.
And the number that we're voting, is the 300 or the 500, is that even included in that number?
So
or is that above and beyond?
That's a great question. So technically, shouldn't we? I guess what we're saying as a school committee is we should probably vote the superintendent's exact numbers, but basically put her on the hook to say that the full amount will be spent next year on teachers.
Yes. So it's different. We would vote the same budget.
Town meeting couldn't care less about it.
Right. That's my interpretation. Yes.
So that said, that's how you take it too, correct, Dr. Shaverhood?
Right, but I would say that while it would be spent, while there will be additional money spent on teachers, we would not want to, I would not want you to designate the $507,000 to be spent on teachers, because if you put that against their salary, you're going to have to pay MTRS the 9%, and you're going to lose money. So what we'll have to do is to figure out what to pull from the budget that is not staff related, but yet free up more money to put into staff. Does that make sense to you?
Not really, but I feel really good if you could tell me it would be like a one-to-one transfer to rehiring staff.
Yeah, there would be, but yeah, I guess I would just like to say one more thing is because of all the PPE items that we're going to be required to purchase throughout this year, I'm not really sure where we're going to get some of that money if it continues as it is.
Okay. All right, so I guess we're gonna have to take, basically revote the numbers, and accept the superintendent's original numbers, and then separately take, what was the motion? Ms. Ruiz, what was the original motion? I think it was just to use, the motion was just to use all $500, $507.
I'll have to get you the exact number. Hold on. I have it right here.
So if that's
It's
the case,
it's 507,964.
okay, so,
Okay.
and I think I just said all of it, so I mean, I guess we should really have a formal motion. You probably take that one back and have a formal motion for that number to just use it for this next year, and then revote the numbers originally. Does that sound right to people?
It does. Because this is only if we approve the budget, right? Then we would also use the 507.
It changes
Well,
the total that you're voting on. It doesn't change the total you're bringing to the town.
Right, it's independent.
But we didn't vote on the 30,990.
No, you're right, we didn't.
30,600.
Right.
But we are
right.
voting on the 29 million.
We didn't. We can't bring the $30 million number
No.
to town meeting.
No, so we're going to re-vote on the same numbers we already voted on. I
Yes.
guess I'm asking.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but we have a motion and a second, and I'm asking Ms. Ruiz if she has the exact verbiage of that motion that.
She has no audio, she says.
You need to have a reconsideration of the vote and then revote.
Oh,
All right. So can I have a motion to reconsider from someone who made the motion?
So moved.
All right, so that's Ms. Rossi, and a second from Ms. Morgan. So let's just vote to reconsider, I guess. Ms. Bakayaki?
are we voting to reconsider the budget?
No, the number for the what do you call it? The CARES Act.
Did we vote to use the 300,000?
No, we there was a motion made, and I think I just said to use all of it. It was very general. You know,
Oh,
I just
sorry.
cleaned it
Okay,
up.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So all right, so you get yes, Ms. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Morgan,
Yes.
Ms. Spear,
Yes.
myself, yes, unanimous to reconsider the motion to use all of the CARES Act money. So Dr. Schwam, if you want to just repeat that figure again.
Yes, it's 507,964.
Do we have a motion to use all of that next year? For
I thought that's what we just voted.
No. We didn't have an exact figure, so we took that
Okay.
back. So
Okay. Yep.
now we've got an exact figure. So I'm looking
Okay.
for a motion to use that figure for all of
So
it
moved.
for next year's budget. So
So
that's
moved.
Ms. Rossi, Ms. Morgan.
Second. Oh, yes.
No, that was a second, right?
Yeah.
All right. Any further discussion? All right. Seeing none. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Morgan.
So I am curious, so that wouldn't bring everybody back though, would it?
No. And we're still short, and
Right.
it's frankly, maybe a little more than a drop in the bucket, but it's something. You know, it's basically my way of getting what Upper Cape is getting, from us. You know what I mean? And valuing our students and staff that's the same amount. Again, not to say at all that Dr. Shaverhood didn't at all. It was very prudent with her original budget, but this is really obviously bugging me that we're cutting and they're not. But anyway.
Well, we're taking it out of one pocket and putting it in another pocket of our own money.
We are. We're not getting it from the town. It's already our money, but we're saying we're going to use it next year. But very good point, Dr. Schwam.
Michelle, I'm just reading. She said that you need to reconsider the vote on the total FY21 budget.
No, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
But we did vote just now to use all of that 507. So yeah, now I'm going to ask you guys to vote again and hopefully vote yes on everything that Dr. Shaverhood presented with regard to net, non-net, and total.
You have to reconsider, though.
Huh?
Ask to reconsider the vote.
Oh, can we? Yeah, okay. So because it really didn't change, so yeah. So can I have a vote from someone on the prevailing side to reconsider that vote?
I make a motion to reconsider. Is it
FY21 budget?
the FY21 budget? Can I say all three votes, or do we have to do one at a
Sure.
time?
Sure, all three.
Okay,
Ms.
all
Peter?
three.
I'm sorry.
We're voting to we're looking to reconsider revoting the 3 budget line items. Net, non-net, and total. Oh no. You there?
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Not sure. No.
Was that a yes?
I don't know.
I counted as a yes.
I thought so too. and frankly, I think maybe you just need one anyway to reconsider, but it has to be someone on the prevailing side. But let's have a vote, a roll call to just to reconsider that. So Ms. Bakayaki,
Yes.
Ms. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Morgan,
So a vote to reconsider, right? Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
and myself, yes. And I think Ms. Spear dropped off, but she will be rejoining us, I think.
No, I think she's still here, Mike.
Oh, there she is. Ms. Spear, if you can hear us, did you want to say yes or no?
Really, yes.
I heard a yes in there. All right. So now we're going to reconsider it. So Ms. Bakayaki, if you want to do the honors and just, you don't have to. I'm just.
No,
Okay.
I can do it. I'll make a motion to approve the net school budget for fiscal year 21 in the amount of $27,482,637.
Is there a second?
Second.
That's Ms. Rossi. All right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, it's a roll call vote. Ms. Bakayaki,
Yes.
Ms. Spear,
Yes.
Ms. Morgan,
I know you had good intentions, Mike, but I'm going to say no. Sorry.
Ms. Rossi,
Yes.
myself, yes. Next one, Joyce.
I'll make a motion to approve the
One time.
non-net.
Sorry, passes unanimously. So go ahead.
Make a
No,
motion.
you didn't vote
Oh,
for
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry. Passes 4-1. Sorry.
That's
Okay. I make a motion to approve the non-net school budget for fiscal year 21 in the amount of $1,948,100.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Rossi. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none. Ms. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Bakayaki,
Yes.
Ms. Spear, Ms. Spear? Yeah, she was there. All right, so I'll go back to her. Ms. Morgan,
Yes.
Ms. Spear, You know what? I don't know. Can you chat it? Can you put it in the little chat window or something?
I think she was driving.
Yeah.
She said yes. She wrote
Okay.
yes.
Okay. And myself, yes. Passes 500. And then we need the total.
Sorry, okay. I make a motion to approve the total budget amount for fiscal year 21 in the amount of $29,430,737.
All right. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Rossi. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All right, we'll do roll call. Ms. Morgan?
No, and I'm going to say that if it passes, I really hope that we look closely at some of the inequities that are happening between the schools.
Do you want to be chair next?
Sure.
Anyway, all right, so Ms. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Bakayaki,
Yes,
Ms. Spear. Ms. Spear?
Put it in chat?
Oh,
No, she didn't.
Yes from before.
that's from before, I think. But I mean, while she's doing that, I'll say yes while we're waiting for her.
Yeah, no, what was it? No.
I wonder if she's in a tunnel or something.
Maybe. I don't see her on the screen anymore. Is she in here?
That's
She
what happened
is.
before.
She is?
yeah, she's over on the last page. Maybe ask her again, maybe she
Yeah,
didn't hear.
Lori, if you can hear me, yes or no on the total budget? All right, so it passes 3-1, just 3-1. That's not an abstention. She just dropped off. If she joins, she can voice.
I'm here.
Oh, there she is. So so is that yes?
It's a yes.
Okay, so it passes.
I'm gonna put myself
4-1.
on mute again.
Oh, okay, 4-1. Passes. So for those watching at home, basically, this honors the town's request to be level funded as far as asking money from the town, and we're going to make up a little bit, a tiny bit, with CARES money, using all of that this year instead of parsing it out. So with that, let's find my agenda now. So we're on to, oh my God, the report of the student representative.
Yeah.
Oh my, go ahead.
Okay, so, school.
They were representative there.
Student representative.
Emily.
Emily.
Is Ms. Roberge still on?
I see her.
I apologize for not having you up earlier.
She says her mic isn't working.
Oh, no. Can she call in and we'll circle back to her? So, I mean, if you can hear me, then we'll circle back to you if you can rejoin us, Emily. And we'll move on to acceptance of gifts.
Right. I would like the committee to please accept $130 worth of gift cards from Slice of Heaven to Beyond School Time for virtual bingo, $1,200 from a retired Minot Forest staff member to the Minot Forest staff, and $60 from Your Cause to the Wareham PTA.
Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Ms. Bakayaki, is there a second?
No, that was
That was
April.
me.
Oh, that was April?
I'll second.
Oh, okay. Ms. Bakayaki seconds. Any further discussion? Seeing none, just thank you very much. And I'll do a roll call on this. Ms. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Spear,
Yes.
great. Ms. Morgan?
Oh,
Ms.
I'm
Morgan?
sorry. I'm sorry. Yes.
Ms. Bakayaki? Oh, yeah.
Yes,
And myself, yes, so that passes 500. We're on to report of the superintendent, approval of bill and payroll warrants.
Right. You received a list of all bills and payroll warrants. There have been none added, so I would ask you to please approve what you received in your packet.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second it.
So I see Ms. Morgan seconded. Was it Ms. Rossi that motioned?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Ms. Spear? I'll start
Yes.
with you. Okay. Ms. Morgan?
Yes.
Ms. Rossi?
Yes.
Ms. Bakayaki?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Passes 500. Anything else under the report of the superintendent?
No, not tonight.
Okay. Let's see. Report of the school committee, school building committee. Ms. Bakayaki, I think you had some good news for us.
Well, I just wanted to share that there is there's vinyl sheets being set out different times this week and next week for members of the community to sign, and those sheets will then be attached to a beam at the school. I believe it's on June 24th. There'll be a beam rising ceremony. And this is all because of COVID, there was not a groundbreaking. And so the Public Relations Committee worked hard to come up with another way to be able to include the community. And this is how they've done it. I believe today was the first day that they were out there collecting signatures at the middle school. I'll be at the multi-service center tomorrow from 5 to 7. I believe there's another time tomorrow during the day, and then Monday and Tuesday at Deaconess. So it's all on their Facebook page and the website. So I just encourage everyone, to come down and sign their name and get it put up on the new school. And it's really exciting. I don't drive by there all the time. I drove by yesterday, and it's just amazing how it's taking shape so quickly.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like, wow.
Every day. Every day it looks like a completely new area. It's coming along so fast, and it's going to be incredible. I love that that's part of my commute, is seeing that in the morning and then in the afternoon. Even the difference of all the work that they're doing in one day is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the folks on the Public Relations Committee are doing a really great job of engaging the community, and the Facebook page and the website. I know they did an interview up there yesterday with the architect and the project manager, and so they're doing a really great job. So come down to the multi-service center tomorrow from 5 to 7. I think I'll be there.
Awesome. Anything else under school committee reports? I have one to add, and it's actually under part of the school building committee. So I got an email from Miss Vugan, Rhonda Vugan. She is a very involved and valued member on the school building committee, and she's part of the PR effort, and she's running all that. And she sent me an email that said, "Dear Mike, the Wareham School Building Committee is planning a steel topping off ceremony for the new Wareham Elementary School project on Wednesday, June 24th at 3 p.m. The event will be limited in attendance due to COVID-19 and broadcast over a live feed to the public. As chair, we would be honored if you would send one member to represent the school committee." And I guess that choice is up to me. And Ms. Bakayaki, are you doing anything on the 24th?
I don't think so.
Would you represent us there?
I would be honored to. Thank you. I really appreciate.
Excellent.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You've been there, beginning to end, so it's most appropriate for you to be there.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I wish we could all be there. I wish,
Yeah.
it was.
So I'm happy to make that appointment.
Thank you.
So, and I had asked, I followed up and asked her who else was going to be there, because I wanted to make sure Dr. Shaver, who was going to be there, Dr. Schwam. I mean, come on. I mean, these people better be there. But so far it's shaping up to be Senator Pacheco, Representative Gifford, Derek Sullivan, Dr. Shaver Hood, Dr. Andrea Schwam, Joan Siemens, Bethany Chandler, a BOS member, a school committee member, a FinCom member, and WSBC member. That's another member on the school for the school building committee. And she mentioned that worked out to be 11, not 10, but they're gonna do something about the distancing and such. But I'm glad that's a great list. I'm happy for those that are gonna be able to do it.
Mhm.
Um,
Can I just say, I would encourage all the school committee members to please come and sign that vinyl
Yeah.
to go on the beam.
Yeah. All right. And so with that, we're on to any other business. I see Miss Rossi. Go ahead.
I just want to again give a lot of credit to all of the teachers, Dr. Shaverhood, Dr. Schwam, for all of the remote learning and, you know, really coming together as the school year is winding down, for how you guys adapted so quickly for all of our kids, to be able to keep them going, to keep their education going. The communication with the teachers, at least at the high school level, in my experience, has been wonderful. Even some of the outside partners that we have with the guidance counselors, the partnerships with Gosnold, reaching out to students who are in need, it's been absolutely fantastic. And I'm really grateful after, you know, being in some of the mom groups across the South Shore and seeing some of the struggles and some of the, you know, the issues that other districts are having. I'm really, really proud of the work that you guys all put in to keep our kids number one and their education number one, and do everything you can to keep them, you know, going and engaged, from the, you know, the who's who at Deaconess to, you know, a lot of the stuff that was coming out from Minot with little packets from Beyond School Time. We really, as a community and as an educational community, came together for the kids in the town, and it was fantastic to see, and I'm really proud to be from this district.
Excellent. Anyone else for other business? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Hold on. Michelle said Wareham Week report budget is posted on school district website. Okay. Anyway, so a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
That was Miss Rossi. A second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. So Ms. Bakayaki,
Yes.
Ms. Morgan,
Yes.
Ms. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Spear,
Yes.
myself, yes. And Ms. Spear, just thank you again for your time you put on the committee, and I hope you take a vacation soon.
Thank you.
for
August.
Lauren.